Welcome back to Good Day State Line. Attorney Jonathan James is back with us to tell us what to do if your license gets suspended. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Every time you're on, we just get really important information because you never know when you're going to be in a situation and need your help.
Right.
And so you're here today. Tell us a little bit about yourself first before we
Well, my name
move
is
on.
Jonathan James. I have a law firm in downtown Rockford. It's the law office of Jonathan James. It's right across the street from City Hall. We do all criminal defense, and we help people get their driver's license
So
back.
you must know the parlor. They're right by
Yeah,
City Hall,
absolutely.
too. So we brought all the neighbors in today. So tell us a little bit, about driver's license reinstallment.
Well, first and foremost is in Illinois, there are several ways to get your driver's license either suspended or revoked. A lot of times this is tied to something you're doing on the road, such as if you get more than 3 tickets in a year, your driver's license is going to be suspended for that. And then there's several other ways to get your driver's license suspended as well. Some of these ways include if you get convicted of an uninsured ticket, then not only is your driver's license going to be suspended for 6 months, then you're going to be required to have SR22 insurance for 3 years. And a big problem we have is a lot of people who get their driver's license suspended from the Secretary of State, they sometimes don't know their license is suspended because...
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's not good.
No, not at all, because then you get pulled over, then you get taken to jail for driving on a suspended license, and the penalties can be kind of harsh. And whenever the Secretary of State notifies you about getting a suspended driver's license, they don't call you on the phone, they don't come by your house, they just stick a letter in the mail, so it's important to make sure that your address is updated with the Secretary of State.
That is a really good point, because if you didn't know, because it was, what did you say, 3 unpaid tickets or 3 speeding tickets? How do you get?
It's whenever you're talking about getting suspended through tickets, if you're over 21 years old, it's 3 tickets within a year that leads to a suspension of your license. And then the length of that suspension varies based on the severity of those 3 tickets. If you're under 21, it's only 2 tickets within a 2-year period that leads to a suspension of your license.
And so that's how it could happen, that you really don't realize that your driver's license is suspended. And that's why you said make sure your address is correct, because you really won't know then.
Right, absolutely.
So what do we do then? What do we do if our driver's license is suspended?
So that's a very good question, and the answer varies based on why you're suspended and whether you're suspended or revoked. The difference between a driver's license suspension and a revocation is that a suspension has a definite amount of time to it. So like I said, you get convicted of an uninsured ticket, you're going to be suspended for 3 months, and in order to get your license back, all you have to do is wait that 3-month period out and then pay your reinstatement fee and then get SR22 insurance, and your license gets back valid again. The other thing that could happen is your driver's license could become revoked. For instance, you get convicted of a DUI, even your first offense DUI conviction is going to revoke your driver's license. And the difference between a suspension and a revocation is a revocation has an indefinite period. So you're essentially cannot drive until you go down to the Secretary of State, you meet with a hearing officer, you have an administrative hearing, and then they give you permission to drive.
It's a little bit of a longer process.
Yeah.
Probably. So you said that's what you have to do. You have to have a hearing. So what's the difference between informal and a formal hearing for the revocation?
Depending on the reason you're revoked, let's say it's a DUI conviction, then you're going to have to go and have a hearing. If you only have 1 DUI conviction on your record, then you would possibly be eligible for an informal hearing. The advantages to that is the locale and the time requirements. For an informal hearing, you can just show up to the DMV here on State Street, meet with the hearing officer, and then they can process your application and have that hearing, and you could get it done right away. If you have 2 DUI convictions on your record, then you're going to be required to have a formal hearing, and they don't do those here in Rockford. You actually have to apply for them, usually about a 60-day wait between the time you apply until you actually get in to have the hearing. They have to schedule it, and then you have to go to either Chicago, Joliet, or Springfield to be able to have the hearing.
Okay, so it's good to know all this information, and that's kind of where you step in, because memorizing it all is your job.
Right, absolutely. And a lot of people get in trouble whenever their license becomes revoked. They try to go off and do it by themselves. And the important thing to remember is at these hearings, it's a formal hearing, it's on the record, everything's recorded, and anything that you say, that's kind of part of the record. And so if you get denied for your initial hearing, everything you said in that hearing is going to be relevant at the next hearing. So sometimes if you go, you try it yourself, you get denied, then you got an uphill battle coming back for the next hearing because you have to address everything that you said in the previous hearing.
All right, so that is where you come in. How can we find you online? Can we call you? How do we get you to help us?
Yep, we have a lot of good information on our website. It's 815DUIHelp.com. If you have a license suspension or revocation, just give us a call. A lot of times we can just, look over your driving abstract and just point you in the right direction to figure out what you have to do. If you need help with a hearing, we're also there to help you out with that as far as, getting you prepped up and getting you ready to go down to either one of these places such as, Joliet or
Sure.
Chicago. And
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for giving us all that info. If anyone needs help, they can
Right.
find you. Coming up next, we're hooking you up with exclusive interviews with filmmakers from the Beloit International Film Festival and giving you a chance to win some tickets. And later, I'm getting weighed and we're eating donuts. We'll be right back with more Good Days Dateline.